Hello everyone, this is Cole from Spolar Power Load. Just wanted to show you guys what we've been working on here. This is the prototype hull feeder design. For the most part it's pretty much finished. We have a few things we're still changing around, but for the most part it's getting there. Don't mind the cardboard. Having another prototype bowl made is not really cost effective, so we made some in-house modifications. This is the inside of it. So it's got the 410 shell plate in there right now. This is the back side of it. So it's on a cam design, similar to the rest of the machine. Everything here that you're looking at on the bottom end is going to be, for the most part, machined out of billet aluminum. This is all 3D printed still, but as you can see, this is solid billet aluminum. That's a prototype we've finished. This shell seating cup will be billet aluminum. This tube bracket, billet aluminum. Gauge change out parts, billet aluminum. The main slide bar will be billet aluminum. The cam is billet. It works off of a linear bearing, so as you can see how smoothly it operates. It's effortless. It's in time perfect, being it's ran off of a cam, so you don't have any timing or anything to mess with really. Do a shot of it in here. So like I said, this one right now is set up for loading 410. And we're going to demo some 410 shells for you. Unfortunately, we don't have enough components to sit here and load through a bunch of shells, so we're just going to be running the empties. And this is the hopper slash collator that we've been working on. It's been a lot of work. Garrick's been putting a lot of time into it. There's been spools and spools and spools of material that have been 3D printed and thrown away and reprinted and thrown away. It's been quite the journey so far. This right here is actually the complete control for the collator, so that's your on off, the same one the new vibrator box uses. We have the relay purposely sticking out because we don't know the lifespan on these or how long they're going to last, but they're easy to change. You can just grab it here and pull it out, put a new one in. They're easy to obtain too, auto parts store. Yeah, so we'll get some shells in there and show you guys what's going on. So before I throw the shells in, we'll just show you guys what's going on here. So that's the speed it's moving at. It's not very fast, but it's plenty for the speed the machine operates at. And as you can see, switch on, switch off, switch on. And it works off of a proximity switch. That's right there. So when it views shells, it'll momentarily just click, click, click. You'll hear that relay shutting on and off. Because you see Garrick's hand there. You can hear it triggering it. So every time a shell drops, it'll really quick, it'll shut on, off, on, off, on, off. So that's where we don't know how long those relays will last, but the good thing is they're changeable. So yeah, we'll get some shells poured in there and show you how it works. Okay, so right here is exactly 1,000 410 shells in this box. And this hopper will hold 1,000 410s, and do you remember?
628, 520.
628s, 520s, and 412 gauge shells this collator will hold. So it's a good number of shells, and it's been feeding really good with all of them. So there you have it. That right there is 1,000 410 shells. You can see it's already grabbing them. And no matter which way they're orientated in the shell plate, they fall and they work perfect. Alright, and then once the tube's full, the proximity switch will send the signal to kill the motor. Now we'll demonstrate feeding some shells for you guys. Alright, Garrick's gonna pull the handle for us, so we'll show you how this works. And our machine is designed to run 3.5 second cycles, so if we're trying to function the machine at that speed. Alright, so we ran the machine out of shells just to show you guys the gauge change setup. This is what a gauge change consists of. So you can see here we have 28, 20, and 12. It's really simple. It's not many parts or pieces. This is what goes onto the slide bar that actually feeds the shell, and it's held in magnetically, which is awesome. It comes out really simple and new one goes in. This is the new shell seating cup, and it goes on just like your existing one does. It's a little bit harder to put in just because this hole feeder's in the way. And then you have the magnetic head, which you guys are used to using. This here is a bushing, and this bushing goes in the bottom of the tube. So this bushing goes right here. So it's like an adapter bushing that goes in place when you do gauge changes. Shell plates. So this is the initial prototypes. They're made pretty chintzy just for prototype reasons, but this is what's being remade right now with pretty much a solid infill. And this here is a 12-20 plate. So this one will do 12, 16, and 20. And this one here is 28 gauge, which we're remaking into a solid fill for testing. The one that's in the machine obviously right now is that's your 410 plate there. So, but yeah, that's what a gauge change consists of. So it's not very hard. The shell plate is held in with one screw. Can't see it now, but it's right here in the middle, and it's got the underside has a hex head pattern in it, so it seats onto like a kind of like a 1/2 inch hex head. Yeah, it's an adapter, and then that screw goes into that hex head there and holds that plate secure. And the final design will actually, the bottom of this collator will have 4 or 5 ball bearing rollers that will support the bottom side of this. So there's going to be a groove machined in these that those rollers actually ride in, so that when it gets loaded with some serious weight, 'cause when you do pour that many shells in there, we found it does load the plate pretty hard. But yeah, so that's what a gauge change consists of. We actually have one being printed right now. And this is what making the hole feeder thus far has consisted of. It's been a ton of 3D printing. Hours and hours and hours of this printer running. So, alright, so we pulled all the shells out just to actually walk you guys through what it consists of doing a gauge change. Eric's going to go ahead and remove that. It's a little flat head right now, but in the future we're going to change that to an Allen head so it's easier to get on. So that shell plate comes out. That's the little hex head adapter. That's actually turning it. This shell plate will go in. What gauge is that?
28 gauge.
And the screw simply gets reinstalled. That's all there is to it up here. You don't have to change this. This part has been amazing. This part right here has worked with all the gauges. We have not had to modify this part. Put some time into it, but it's working awesome. And the only one we have to change the tube for is 410, and that is designed here. This is threaded, so you'll simply screw this down. It gives you the clearance that you need to pull the tube up and out of here and put your 410 tube in place with the 410 bushing down here, and then you can put that back on, and then you'll expand the threads back up to snug it back up. So it's pretty quick also, but with 28 we don't need to change the tube. It's going to use the 12, 16, 20, and 28 uses that same tube. And then we'll show you changing the bottom end. Bottom end, this is going to be hard to do trying to hold the phone, but Eric's going to help me. You'll have your handle down like so. This part's a little tricky. We're going to modify it to make it a little simpler, but that's that magnetic part. You see how easy that comes out. It just comes off, set it aside. In comes the 28 gauge, and it just snaps itself in just like that. It's done. So it's already done. 28's there. The tricky part is going to be the shell seating cup. And I'll try to get out of Eric's way here. Alright, we got ahead of ourselves. This, we're going to take that back off real quick so it'll make life easier. We need to change the cup first, so messed up on that. So that just comes back out easy. And you'll compress your cup just like you do now when you do a gauge change. Let me slide that can off for you. The head comes off. The new cup comes off. It can only go on one way, so you can't screw it up. Compress it down. And you just tighten up your set screw. And then the last thing we'll do real quick is we'll change out that bushing down here. Right now it has the 410 bushing in, but that's simple also. Okay, now we're going to show you how to change the tube, what that consists of. You'll loosen that there, just to the point that it gives you enough room to sneak it out into the side. See, it lets that come off. Just let that hang. Tube lifts out, and there's the bushing. And that just goes right back in just till it's snug. Just till that shoulder gets up there to the top. And that's it. So that's a gauge change. Now obviously you need to do your gauge change on the machine, which if you guys are ordering this with the ability to load different gauges, you know what that consists of. Changing your top plate, sizing dies, wad cup and spring finger, and your shot and powder bushing. So we'll dump some 28s in there and show you it functions just as well with 28s. Alright, I got ahead of myself. We had to modify this 410 head because I wasn't thinking about it. We don't have any sizing dies. The other ones we actually machine the sizing ring out of. Just being we're not reloading them, we can't apply the pressure we need to on the shells to knock them back out. These are standard dies, so we're we pulled like the 410 knockout off, put a 28 on, and just pulled some of this tooling off so that we're not actually trying to resize the shells. But we'll go ahead and give you guys a quick demo of it. We're gonna pour in, how many do we got there?
There's 600.
628 gauge shells are gonna go in there. Go ahead. So that's 600. And we'll turn the switch on, let this thing fill up, and then we'll show you guys how it works. Alright, we got some shells loaded in the tube. We're going to go ahead and give you guys a demo of the 28. Alright guys, we don't want to just bore you with running shells over and over and over, but those are some 28s that we ran. Like I said, it's all almost there. We have a few small changes we're gonna make. What we'd like to do is give you guys quality. Like instead of plastic, we want to go billet aluminum, billet. We want to make all bracketry metal and strong and anodized, and keep the whole quality and theme of the machine alive so that it looks like it belongs. And this will hook up on any of the machines we have produced. This hull feeder system is on one of our shop loaders, serial number 9. So this is one of our old machines, and for the most part there's not really any updates to this machine. Just the basics, the things we've done over the years, but I mean none of the newer stuff. It's, for the most part, it's still serial number 9. But that's it, guys. Let us know what you think. Got a couple hundred or more hours in it so far, but everything's working good and we're proud of what we have here. So hopefully we'll have something for you soon. Thanks, guys.